Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spiritual View. It's Thursday, the last day of July in 2025. Welcome. We're grateful that you're joining us. And we have tonight as our host, the beautiful Jen from the Awakened Jen. We have Dawn from Astrology and Tarot Alchemy. We have myself and we have the lovely Wendy. And so welcome. If you're new to the channel, this is our live that we do on Thursdays each week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we also do daily videos. So would encourage you to check out our channel for the daily content. And if you're a returning champion, as always, we love your support of the channel, and say hello, everyone, and as you're joining the chat and where you're from. And we will be delighted to chat with you as we get started. So we have some announcements before we get into the program, and just wanted to first say, as you're joining, and if you want an individual card pulled, if you can put a heart in the chat, please do so, and we will do what we can to get to as many of you tonight as we possibly can. And we will be talking next week about Lionsgate and the full moon. So we've got a couple of announcements that we'll be posting, so we'll let you know that this is happening. But we will not have a Thursday Night Live next Thursday, the 7th of August. We will instead have a Lionsgate ceremony on Friday, August the 8th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we hope that you can join us for that live for the special ceremony and energy. And we will also be releasing some videos throughout the day and some different content, which we hope you'll find is going to be fun and enjoyable, as well as being insightful. We will be also doing a full moon ceremony, and that is on Saturday, August the 9th. Now, it's not going to be live. We will post a video to watch on the 9th of August, and it's a full moon in Aquarius. And as Dawn says, it's got a lot of power. It's at 3:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so it'll be coming kind of in the middle of the night for most of us. And so we will be posting that for you to watch on the 9th, on that Saturday. So we're going to talk tonight. Dawn's going to take us through a conversation about the Mercury Cazimi. And so we're all learning about Cazimis, and we were just having a chat about it beforehand. What does a Cazimi look like? So we'll basically be talking a little bit about that, because many of us are still learning about astrology. So Dawn, I really appreciate you educating everyone in the collective. So as usual, we're going to start off by doing a little bit of grounding, ladies and gentlemen. So if you can get relaxed wherever you are, in your chair, and on the couch, in the bed, wherever you are, we're going to ask everyone just to slow it down and ask everyone just to gently close their eyes. And we're going to start, as we always do, by taking a few deep breaths in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. Breathe in again through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. And as you continue to take some nice deep cleansing breaths, allow your body to soften. Notice where you're holding tension. Just soften any area of your body that feels tense or tight. Relax into your body. The week is almost over. And we're just going to continue to take those nice deep cleansing breaths. And we're just going to be in this beautiful energy together. Now imagine tonight that there is a cocoon of golden light forming gently around you. In this cocoon, it holds you in safety and in love and in divine transformation. And as you bathe in this golden light, you feel safe to surrender. You are safe to let go. You are safe to be who you are and who you came to be. Visualize your body glowing with this golden, iridescent light, like the butterfly preparing to emerge. Say silently to yourself, I now release all fear, all outdated patterns, all karmic contracts which no longer serve me. Take a deep breath and feel them dissolve into the light. You've transmuted this energy. Breathe in the energy of new beginnings. Feel your wings unfurling. They feel light, colorful, expansive. Look at your wings and notice what color they are. You are no longer who you were yesterday. You are a new version of yourself, braver, freer, stronger, more aligned with your soul's purpose and truth. Say silently to yourself, I welcome this metamorphosis. I trust the path of my transformation. I am ready to shine my light. Feel yourself rising into the frequency of the new earth. Anchor your light and your wings here in this beautiful frequency of Mother Gaia. You are grounded, but free at the same time. And you are light, and your light shines for others as this beautiful butterfly of transformation. This is the new you. It's time to own it. Let's take one more deep breath in through the nose. Let's exhale slowly with gratitude. Let's put our hands over our heart and thank Mother Gaia for her support in our collective transformation. When you are ready, gently open your eyes as you carry this light with you for now and for the future. Okay, Miss Dawn. All right. We are clear and we are ready to go, everyone.
Okay, so, we mentioned Mercury cazimi, but let's define what that is. The cazimi really relates to the sun and a conjunction of another planet with the sun. And in this case, you'll most often hear it talked about with Mercury, because Mercury does this a couple times a year. Mercury retrogrades at least 3 times a year. So it's often has that Mercury cazimi. Now, we did just have the energy of Jupiter having a cazimi with the sun in Cancer, which was a very special time. So what this Mercury cazimi is really doing is the sun is giving special messages to Mercury all day today. So you may have had downloads or brilliant ideas or messages from people that you weren't expecting, because remember, Mercury is in retrograde. So sometimes we get messages from people from our past, and that is one of the ways that you can look at this. But with it being with the sun, there's just this extra power and glory that Mercury is getting. So if any of you have had that happen, where you had some different ideas coming in today, or something that unexpected popped into your mind, you need to pay attention to those kind of things. Mercury is in retrograde, and I feel that part of this Mercury retrograde is it's going to take this knowledge that it's getting from the sun, and it's going to go back all the way to that 4-degree mark, in which case it'll be very close to Pluto. So it'll be very close to in an opposition to Pluto, in which case we can transform the energy that we've had and the lessons from this Mercury retrograde. And then as it starts forward, then we get that healing. And then it'll go all the way to 15 degrees, where it started its retrograde, and that will be the finish. And then it will continue on through the rest of Leo. and you being able to then speak out your truth that you found while this retrograde was going on. So I think that is very important for people to realize that this is a very special time, and it's not like it heals all things, but it will help you as we move through this healing process, because this healing process isn't done. It will have to face Pluto, and Pluto is that transformation point from what I feel that is going on. And then as it moves direct again, that is when you get the energy, and it will go direct before this next full moon. So that's really nice timing for us with the full moon energy coming up and Lionsgate coming up. So you have all of this that you're really dealing with now. And then we get the full moon in Aquarius with that energy. And not too far away from this full moon, Chariklo is there in Aquarius, by the way, within just a couple of degrees of this full moon. So there is some real opportunities for healing as we're going through this Lionsgate energy coming up. So I wanted people to be aware of that. And on a personal level, if you have anything in that 4 degrees through 15 degrees of the fixed signs, because it will be in a square or an opposition. So if you have any personal planets, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Ceres is now being added into that. For those of us that are counting more the feminine energy, Ceres is actually a planet. So those energies in either Aquarius, which would be the conjunction, Aquarius is the opposition, Leo is the conjunction, and Scorpio and Taurus, 4 to 15 degrees, those are the squares. So that is that extra strong energy hitting those things. So this is for you. And maybe as a square, I always think squares are, they require action. It's not like you have a choice. It may not be a bad action, but action will be required. Like, okay, depending upon what's being squared, if you have Mars being squared, you might have something to say about things, but I would wait till Mercury goes direct before you say anything. And I always say during Mercury retrogrades, it's a good time to just put tape over the parts that might say something that we can't take back. So, but once it moves direct and you've thought about it, my hands are off of that. So I won't take any of that away. We do have, with the astrology going forward, I will say, and it's been something that I felt personally, for the collective, it's been kind of gnawing at the back of my mind, is this Mars and Saturn opposition. Now, it may not affect us personally because we may not have anything in those particular areas of the chart, and that would be in the cardinal signs, which is why it's more affecting the collective. But this is notorious, Mars and Saturn during this 2-year cycle having to do with Israel and Iran. So I expect news to come out of there. The good news is we have Venus and Jupiter that are going to be meeting on the 12th of August. They are going to form a conjunction. They are the most benefic planets. They are both in Cancer. Jupiter's exaltation. Venus likes Cancer. It is her homey place. It's where she can kick off her shoes and put up her feet. So Venus does like Cancer. And so they're both in this house that they both like very much, the sign that they both like very much. So if you have anything, it's at 14 degrees. And this extra special bonus is Sirius. The fixed star Sirius is going to be seen rising. This is what they call the helical rising, where you can actually see it rising in the sky. It'll start appearing. It's been invisible. It will start appearing. And to have the same degree as Venus and Jupiter on the day that it's rising is like a very blessed energy, I would say. So if you have anything that is at around those degrees, I would say give it 3 or 4 degrees either side. It's 14 degrees is the actual degree. So give it even 3 to 5 degrees either way. It's Cancer. So it would be the cardinal signs that you're talking about. Cancer, Capricorn, and Aries and Libra. So that's the good energy that's coming out for the collective. So I think if we have a situation that might be ouchy, that we are going to have an opportunity to maybe have diplomatic solutions, hopefully coming with a lot more involvement of other people. Okay, that's what I'm feeling with this energy. So I will say that that's what I'm feeling. And personally, if you look at your chart and look around those degrees, then you can see how that might affect you. So that's always the important thing, is to check your own chart and just compare those energies. So anybody have any questions regarding that?
Yeah, you mentioned before we got on camera about the galactic aspect of this Cazimi. Could you speak to that as well?
It's the downloads that are coming in, I think, are such a higher level because we have all of this energy of the sun. And I think I think even something I didn't say is you have this energy that's coming in from the galactic center that's been coming into our space. And it's been affecting the sun and the other planets. There's things that demonstrate that there's been effects of this galactic energy coming in, and it does affect our sun. And our sun is extra active now anyway. So we get this energy coming into the earth. We already have the electrical energy from all of these solar flares and this solar winds and all these things that are happening. And this Cazimi energy meeting with the sun just gives all of this extra download energy in. And I think especially with this time and being that it's in Leo, I feel that it's personal empowerment, because that's the heart energy. And I think that it may, how do you put it? It's like when you get downloads, but you know something's coming in, but you don't know what it is. You'll find out later. I think people have had that happen when they were like, I know that I feel like there's stuff coming in, but you don't know exactly what it is. And I think part of that is our bodies being upgraded as the earth is elevating. And we've had a lot of, and we will continue to have more earth events, because we've been talking about the earth being in this birthing process. And that's very true. And I think we were all talking about, yeah, weren't you tired the other day? I was really, really tired. And that energy does affect us, even if you just say, okay, even if you just look at the fact that it's the sun and the solar energies that are coming in, that will physically affect the human body. It just is a natural scientific fact. And spiritually, it's the same thing, because all that energy is bringing information. It's bringing in information. And being that it's Cazimi with Mercury, which is about learning and information and communication, to me, it's like I keep expecting, as we go further on, to have us bring up our empathic abilities more and more. So it's not like we're reading somebody's mind, but we're reading the energy of that person. So it's going to be harder. I mean, if you're an empath, you know when someone's lying to you, right? You know it. Well, you're going to get even better at it. So that's what I see with that energy. And I hope that answered that question, Suri, with that.
Yes, thank you.
But yeah, there's a lot of really interesting astrology going on, and just make sure that you're grounding your energy in. That's very important. If you can walk barefoot on grass or just sit barefoot or anything like that, that really helps. Getting out in nature, meditating, or just dancing. Any of those things that get you out of the monkey brain and more into that heart resonance. So especially Leo, during Leo season, as we're going forward. So we do have a question, and we will be starting with this question for the collective. I can't, you will excuse me for a second. So we're going to go to Suri first, and I'll let you go ahead and take over what the question is.
Okay, great. And before I go forward, I saw that Ron's in the house, and I just want to do a special shout out for Ron. He was our surprise guest on our Wildcard Wednesday, and he gave us the magic and the wisdom of the runes. And if you haven't had a chance to watch the video, please do so, and put some comments and show some love for Ron, because it was his first time on camera. And we had such a great time. But Ron, thank you for being willing to try it out and be that spiritual warrior with me on Wednesday. It was a lot of fun. So thank you. All right. So the question for the collective around the energy of this Mercury Cazimi, what is opening up for the collective as new downloads to bring in. So we started pulling cards, and I couldn't help it. That's why I asked you the galactic question, because I was pulling from the Galactic Star Tarot. And we are getting energy, as Dawn said, from the Galactic Center. And I pulled the Chariot. So I'm going to show you this beautiful rendition of the Chariot. It has a woman, and if you see her, she's holding up two big wands that kind of look like swords, but they're crossed above her head. The sun in the background, a crow and a bird, and she's got this beautiful, it looks like a Merkaba, and she's got two sphinxes that are depicted a little bit differently than the Egyptian sphinx. But this card, in context of this question, it says, golden cosmic energy swirl around this powerful galactic trailblazer who is ready to command her star fleets into the galaxy. So she's a warrior, and she has mapped out the star systems and knows exactly what her flight ahead will look like. If you have taken care of the details, you will have a solid plan for your goals, and you will move swiftly into what you want, and you will experience massive success. And the mantra with the Chariot card from this deck is, I am unstoppable. I am focused and determined to achieve my goals. And it says there is no stopping you on your road when the universal life force energy is flowing freely through you and channeled into a meaningful purpose. So this card is basically saying, if you're aligned with your mission and path, you're going to get whatever downloads need to come to you so that you can lead your light and you can be the light to shine for others. And so I think this is a beautiful card to get us started. And it starts with our mindset of being in the heart, but allowing the flow of whatever the universe wants to bring you so that you can be that spiritual warrior moving ahead and shining the light for others. It's a beautiful message. So I'm going to pass it on to Wendy, who's going to give us our next collective message.
All right. And I love that you got that card, because what I got is for anyone who is feeling a little less sure about where they are on their journey. I pulled from the Cosmic Journey Oracle, and I got, there are no wrong turns. So this is a 27 card. So also kind of coming to an end of a cycle, right? So we're moving into a different direction. And like I said, if you're not entirely sure of what that means for you, it's okay, because there are no wrong turns. So it says, what if you wouldn't make the wrong decision, wrong move, or wrong turn? How much pressure would that eliminate from your life? All roads lead to the exact same place of perfect perfection, just arriving via different routes. So you've come here with your cosmic assignment that keeps knocking over and over again. So don't worry, you won't miss it. We always want to be certain of our path, but life doesn't always work that way, right? Sometimes you're almost there. Sometimes it feels like a long road ahead. It's only by embracing the ambiguity that you can create the surety that you seek. So really just, accepting and embracing that you're on your path and you're going forward, no matter which direction you end up getting there, you're still going to end up in the same spot. It's just what you learn along the way, or how you learn those lessons along the way might vary and change. So don't worry if you are not quite sure what the future holds for you. You're still moving towards it. Okay. So we're going to be moving on to Jen.
Right. So I have pulled with the Work Your Light Oracle, and what I got is the crumbling. And it says, what are you clinging on to? And just the feeling that I got just as this was coming in, because this is something that, like, I've been getting the downloads that she was talking, that Dawn has talked about today. And this is part of the download that I was getting just before coming on. And it's like, we are literally in that shift point. And it's like, when I see this card, that's what I was feeling in it, is like the split it's like we're literally feeling the split right now. And so it's like more and more we're going to just see it, just like that split, just more and more. And it's just as we continue to pull apart, like anything that's not aligned with you is continuing to be like taken out of your life. And so like that's the thing that you're going to start realizing, the things that are falling away is it's the misalignment, because it's like we're being sorted right now, and it's like the recalibration. But then I also saw this as like the tower, and that's another one of the downloads I was getting, is like the masculine collapse that's happening. But what I was getting with that was like it's a rebalancing. So we're just in this complete recalibration place of everybody's kind of getting resorted to the timeline that they're meant to be on right now. Okay, so moving forward with Dawn.
I really like this. It's a number 11 card. It's in perfect harmony, and it's with the Oracle of the Seven Energies. And very much for me, I have been getting so many messages about people finding their tribe. This is us with our vibration finding our tribe. And it's, for me, it's like you can have more than one song, you can have more than one tribe, you can go to different places and play different notes and different instruments. And sometimes, every once in a while, if you're in a band or in an orchestra, somebody plays an off note. So it's recalibrating. Okay, then you stop and you think, okay, why did that happen? What's going on? But again, then you just try it again with the people that you're working with. So to me, in perfect harmony is very much saying that there's changes going on and there's different pieces of music that we can play, but it's very much about us finding our tribes and the people that you can, I mean, to me, it's such a relief to talk to people that don't think anything of me spouting different astrology things or noting that there's, the different kind of energy that's out there, or, that's what I think is most important, is that if you're not in a place where you feel comfortable being yourself, find a different place. I think that's what we're being asked to do, is go to a place where, we're in comfort with the people that are around us. And I think that's a big part of what's happening now. We're going through this process, and not everybody, you can only play your instrument. How about that? You can only play your instrument. You can't play somebody else's instrument for them. And I think that's also a thing to take away from this, is that it is about you and self-care. That's probably why you might have played a wrong note. You're not taking care of yourself. But there's many different orchestras and bands that you can be a part of. So go out there and just enjoy the music and the time and the good vibrations. So with that, we will start our private single readings, and we'll go back to Suri.
All right. Thank you, Dawn. Okay. So the question that we have is, what is Spirit's guidance for you during this Mercury Cazimi and with all these energies and the downloads? So I saw Nicole, I think Lindsay sent you, and thank you for joining us this evening. So I felt drawn to pull a card for you. So I pulled from the Energy Oracle deck, and you can't make this up because this is Leo season, but this happens every time. We pull lions on our cards. And Nicole, this is Angel of Strength, and it's got a beautiful angel on here and a lion. This is very much like the traditional strength card. So this is the message for you, Miss Nicole. I'm going to read it to you. It's about personal power and inner strength. This amazing angel brings the news that this is a time of increasing power for you. It's not the time to be passive or submissive, but to speak your truth and take action on your own behalf. It says, Nicole, you are capable of taking greater control in directing your own destiny, for the power that comes from within reaches out to the universe and beyond. Inner strength and unlimited resourcefulness flow through you at this time, helping you to create real results. Call upon this wonderful angel and on your inner resourcefulness to bring you the focus and resolve to do what's necessary in order to make your dreams a reality. All right. And the affirmation with this card is, deep within me is an abiding strength that knows no bounds. I have all the power I need to achieve all that I want. So, Nicole, there is nothing getting in your way, girl. You have all the inner strength, and you have an angel that's around you right now wanting you to say, help me and assist me and to be there on my journey. So you got everything you need, girl, to keep going and to be stronger than ever. And that's just a beautiful message. So I'm going to pass the baton to Wendy. And it was an honor, Nicole.
All right. Let's see. So I pulled a card for Munisa, and I pulled from the Starseed Oracle, and I got the Void. And in the Void, I feel like this is actually really showing that you are kind of in the same place with the collective here. This says, stop, embrace winter, great cosmic womb. And with the cosmic womb, I'm thinking of kind of that that rebirthing energy with Gaia. And so it says, everything and nothing exists in the void. It's where all life begins and ends. It's the winter and the womb, the fertile darkness where all things originate and all seeds grow. Comforting and intimidating, freeing and daunting. It can feel both overwhelmingly small and huge. The void is where faith lives. So the message of the void is to surrender to the unknown, to allow the fertile darkness of nothingness to nourish the new seeds growing within you, regardless of whether you know what they'll one day become. You're being called to surrender to the mystery of what's next, to rest and to allow the winter of your life to do the work for you, to hand over your control and trust that just because you can't see what's happening beneath the surface doesn't mean things aren't at work. The greatest weavings happen when we find a way to surrender and trust that our life is being knitted for us, right beneath the surface, in ways known and unknowable. So now is the time to cultivate faith and allow deep, deep rest. So the void often surfaces at the end of a chapter or a life phase. So when we're called to let go of all that we know and identify with, when you're in the void, it can feel scary and as if you should be doing something. However, when this card appears, it is a sure sign that the most productive thing to do is relinquish control and surrender to the changing mystery of your life. Okay, so this is really going right in line with a lot of things that we've been talking about. And just, you know, we're in this transition period and just really believing it, trusting it, and embracing it, and not trying to overthink it or overguess it or holding on to any kind of fear that you might have with not knowing what's coming. Just lay into it. It's okay. It's meant to happen. So I hope that resonates for you. And we're going to move on to Jen.
Okay. I have pulled for Anna. And so I used the Tarot of the Divine to pull with. And we've got the Page of Swords. And the first thing that came out was, you don't have all the information yet. Keep an open mind. You do not have all the information yet. And so I feel like that if it hasn't happened yet, you have either recently gotten some really shocking news and it's kind of gotten you kind of like spinning. Because like when I was even shuffling, like the whole deck exploded on me. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That doesn't usually happen to me. So I'm like, something messy is feeling. And so I just feel like that like it takes you off center at first, but I don't think it's as bad as what you think it is. It's just there's some learning. Keep an open mind to this. There's some learning. You don't have all the information yet. I think that there's still a confession coming. I think there's still something coming out. So just keep an open mind and just wait until everything is kind of out, and don't move with the reaction. Like, just like, because like I said, when that deck exploded, I'm like, whoa, okay, this is big. Okay, so I'm going to move forward with Dawn.
And I've been remembering to unmute myself, so I hope that isn't a curse for later. I'm going to read for Venus. I haven't read for her for a while, and the card that came out for you was Merry Motive. It's a number 20 card, and the very first thing it says is you've chosen a path, you've set an intention, and you've begun to move toward a goal. You feel compelled to keep going, but do you know the why behind the drive? And what also it's saying about this is, where is your focus? You're setting an intention, but what has your focus been on? And one of the things that, and I'm guilty of this, if you're unsure about the motives, what is your true desire? If you are envious of others, competitive and overly ambitious, you will always feel as if you are not enough. And if you are looking at, if it's regarding relationships, it's also, you look at what you do want in the relationship and don't focus on the things that haven't worked. You have to make sure that your focus isn't on the negatives. So I think when you're setting intention, always set it with the positive foot forward instead of, I don't want that to happen anymore, because that still is the focus on this other energy of not liking this. And if you are not liking this, and that is your intention that you don't like this and you want to see it gone, you're still not liking this. So really pay attention to how you form your goals going forward. What is your motive? And make it move towards the positive. I love moments when we talk together. I love moments just sitting outside and watching a fire. That will bring in the harmonious aspects for you. So I think that is what I really want to say about this, is that where is your focus? And that's true of the collective. That's why we keep telling you not to watch the news, because if you watch things that are negative like that, and you keep being in that energy, that gives energy to the thing that you don't like. Okay. So that's kind of what I want to share with you. And especially for you, Venus, too, because I really feel that you have I feel like there's so much that can be so positive in your life, but the things that have been negative in your life have just taken up so much closet space, I guess, that you need to really clean that out and not focus on that, and move towards the more positive energies, and let the focus be on the positive instead of on what you may not want anymore. So that's what I can say about this. And I know that we've talked in the past about, with you, I know that you've come a long way. So I think that you know how to do this. And sometimes we just need that little reminder. And that's what I think this is. This is just a little reminder to you, because I think you understand this energy pretty well. But every once in a while, we get caught up in those things when life happens and you're like, Mercury retrograde. Oh, well. But that's what I want to bring forward. So I will go ahead and move on to Sari.
Okay. All right. So I have pulled from Misty, and Misty, I want to give you kudos because she was on the live before anyone. And so I wanted to pull a card for you, and I pulled from the Voice of the Souls Oracle. And the card I pulled was Source. Now, this has a number of meanings, but Misty, it's around your connection to Source and your spirituality. And it says, you may be a challenge right now, taking a step back and understanding your life path. So the card is around your spiritual path, and you may be finding either confusion, or the path that you've been on with your work and your career may not be fulfilling anymore. And you may be searching for what is the right connection to Source. And it says, you may also doubt your spiritual abilities and skills. And sometimes you might question everything, feeling like you're always coming back to square one, and it can make you feel exhausted. So, and I would say this is not just for Misty. Many of us have been in this contemplation phase of, as we are connected to the divine, what does that actually mean for our spiritual journey as we're going through this transformation? And the things that used to resonate with us perhaps don't resonate anymore. So Misty, what I'm feeling is that what happened is that you shifted, and whatever is going on with you is you're really questioning the old, you're questioning, the box that people may have put you in, and you see this new direction of your spiritual path, but either you're not sure yet because you haven't seen it, or it hasn't manifested yet. And many of us are in the same place. So I hear you, girl. And it says, all the signs are before you. You might not see them because you might not be looking in the right direction. And so the advice from this card is to connect to your crown chakra and also to connect to your third eye. And if you can sit in meditation and really open up that third eye and open up the crown, you are going to get the downloads. You're going to get the information that you need that will help guide you as you move forward. And so you're on the right path. It might not feel that way because you might not see it just yet, but Spirit is just saying, connect to the crown and the third eye, trust your intuition, and you will get the clarity that you need. All right. Thank you, Misty, and I will pass it on to Wendy.
Okay. And I decided to pull a card for Ron, even though I know you didn't put a heart and you didn't ask for one, but I just wanted to pull a card for you, Ron. So I pulled from the Enchanted Map Oracle, and I got the number 11 card, Balancing Act. There we go. So it says, you are calm within no matter the fluctuation of outer conditions. And I'm not going to read the whole passage because I feel like this one sentence really stood out for me. And it said, perhaps you're unsure of your footing. And that really reminded me actually of the reading that I did today. And I was talking about feeling really unsure of your footing and feeling kind of like unbalanced or like you're uneven moving forward. But however, the only reason that you have that feeling of unbalance is not because you're going in the wrong direction or doing anything that you shouldn't do. It's actually quite the opposite. It's that you are walking your path, and you are having those aha moments, and you are having your synchronicities, and you are having these things where you're actually putting into action what you've been telling yourself that you need to be doing for so long, right? But because that really isn't the social norm of things, then it can make you kind of feel off kilter. Like, oh, well, maybe I'm taking a misstep here, when you're not. You are taking the right steps moving forward. It's not what we're used to, because we're not used to actually being, dealing with the right things and doing the right things for ourselves necessarily. I have a great example of this. It's like, lately I've been actually doing real self-care, which is before I would say, oh yeah, I should do it and I'm going to do it, but I wasn't really following through with it, but now it's like I'm really actually following through with it. And it's kind of upended things for me, where it's like I have these moments where I'm just like, I'm anticipating feeling anxiety about something, and then the anxiety just never comes, which is an awesome and wonderful and great thing, but it kind of makes me feel like, whoa, this is weird. This is unbalanced. This isn't what I'm used to. So I feel like you're maybe experiencing some of that, where it's like you're doing the right things, you're on the right path, you're putting into actions what you've been putting into words. And that is kind of a confirmation of like, yeah, I am doing what's right for me, because even though it might feel like it's not normal, or it's not what I'm used to, or it's not what other people are saying or is normal, it's okay, because you're doing just exactly what you should be doing. So I hope that resonates for you, Ron, and we're going to go ahead and move on to Jen.
Okay. I have pulled for Marissa Grady, and I used the Tarot of the Divine for you, and we got the World. And so, Marissa, I know that you follow my my Facebook page, and I feel like that you have connected with a lot of the twin flame content that I have put on there in the channeled messages and stuff, because what I'm getting out is like, you have completed your twin flame mission. Like if you've got that in question, it's like the same, you're in a similar path as me, is what I'm feeling. And so you've completed your part of the twin flame mission. And so now you are able to bring in real love, and you see it in the fullness of what love is actually supposed to be. And so I want to read what this says to you. Let's see, where's it at? The world is the happily ever after ending following a difficult journey. Hinamoa and I'm not going to say that right, Tutanaki, represent the victorious conclusion, a positive outcome most desired. However, a conclusion also heralds the start of a new journey. And so, I mean, you are closing out the old contract. And so the old contract was brought together by fate. Now then, once you've done this part, you're in the free will part. And so you're not bound to that other person anymore just because of the old contract. You completed that contract. Now then, if you choose to be with that person, it is your free will choice to be with that person. But you don't have to be with that person. You've completed what that contract was about. So I hope that helps. And I'm going to move forward with Dawn.
Hello, and I'm drawing for Vicky. She was on, I saw her name earlier and I was very drawn to that. And then the deck that I was using would not give me a card. So I went to a different deck and then I pulled a card and then I'm like, I'm sorry, I had to actually get another card because they're saying very much the same thing. The very first card that I was compelled was Forest, Breathe. What I feel is that you really, really need self-care. You need to take time out for yourself. Everybody does. The beautiful part about this forest is the giving and receiving of oxygen for carbon dioxide. Us humans are giving and receiving that back with the trees around us. And that is very much a Gaia energy. And sometimes what I'm getting is this sense that you don't even sometimes take that time to have a full, deep breath, that it's just like there's so much energy going on around you. That's what I'm feeling. It's just like this, that you're not stopping and taking time for yourself and being even able to breathe properly. So I feel that you do need to really have self-care in there. And then again, I was compelled to draw another card for you, and it's Gaia, it's nurturing. It's you need to, part of what this came out as is, and I know this is hard for the people who have Pluto in Virgo, but accepting other people's wanting to nurture you, okay? Where you don't think you deserve it, or don't worry about me. I'm fine. I can take this. I can do this. And I really think that is part of, you're not allowing that to come in, because one of the things it really caught my attention is receiving can be a sacred act if your intention is to honor spirit, which is, spirit is also about breathing, inspire. It is as holy as giving when performed with a humble and open heart. This is even truer when receiving much needed nurturing. So let others give to you. And sometimes that's really, really hard, but you have to accept it, be open to it. And receiving is just as important as gifting. And I feel like you've been outpouring too much. And I feel that's a lot of us, where we're not even taking the time to breathe and settle in our energies. And being out in the forest can help us with that, because we have that beautiful exchange anyway. And to me, it's like almost we can accept it better because we feel we're getting an exchange. So I feel that this is what Gaia wants you to do. And I just feel like there's been so much going on, and then just like there's so many things that are happening that you haven't taken that self-care time. And really it is important for us to accept the help from others, even it's a matter of, okay, I'll load the dishwasher. Don't say no. Let them do it. Let them do things for you. It's good for them. So that's my reminder for, and it, you know, if she doesn't happen to be here, if Vicky's not here anymore, I think this is a message meant for all of us to allow people to do things for us. I had the same thing when my car wouldn't start and I had to call my friends and I felt really bad. And they're like, no, you don't have to do anything to receive our help. It's fine. You know, happy to help. And I had to stop and go, okay, I'm just receiving this in and I don't have to do an exchange for it. And that's a lesson I think that it's for all of us. So we're going to go back to Suri.
All right, I'm going to pull from Miss Lindsay. All right, Lindsay. Wow, what a powerful card. And this is from the Energy Oracle deck. And I hope you're still on, Lindsay. I pulled this card. It's called Magician and the Mirror. And I want you to look at this gentleman. And this is somewhat of a rendition of the Magician. But I was getting, you can call it a download or whatever. But I'm going to put this. This is Lord Melchizedek, okay? And I was getting a download that Lord Melchizedek is here. And Lord Melchizedek, I'm just going to tell you who he was in the Bible. He was both priest and king, and he was very significant in the Old Testament, but he carries a very sacred and holy energy. So there's some connection with you, Lindsay, with Melchizedek. So I would ask you to look at that or Google it. And it says, the book of Hebrews, it doesn't say that Melchizedek was the son of God making an appearance, but rather that there were some parallels between their energies. He carries the Christ consciousness energy. And so that was coming through before I could even tell you. But this card is around knowing and using your true power. This card represents the culmination of your personal and spiritual power at this time. It is in the magician's left hand is the flame of passion and action. In his right hand is a vortex of water and the light of reflection. This highly beneficial card is telling you that you are the magician, and within your grasp are the amazing forces of earth and spirit. The water is the energy of yin, the power of spirit and clarity of thought. The flame is the energy of yang, bringing together, direction and creativity. Together, they give you the magnificent magic of transformation. The mirror standing beside the magician reflects the outer world's response to your choice to use the true power that you have. Its silver reflection reveals the future in a mist on the horizon, ready to be magically formed. So it says you're being put on notice that this is a really important time for you right now. And they're calling you the alchemist. So right now is your time to step into your power. You are supported by Lord Melchizedek, the Christ consciousness energy. I mean, it's just coming right here on my right shoulder. It's like, whoa. And he doesn't come through very often. This is probably the second or third time I've experienced it. So this is claiming your power, embrace your intentions in your heart, direct your destiny, and the mist of your future will clear into brilliant reality. So there's nothing holding you back, Misty, except you. All right. Ask for support, but you are the alchemist. And don't be small. Be big. That's the message. So that came out of nowhere. But anyway, I'm going to pass it on to Wendy.
Okay, so I pulled a card for Girl Gone, and you said that you were on your spiritual journey and you'd had a whole life reset, literally, right? And you're wondering what or where it's taking you. I want you to watch the video I made this morning because I feel like so much of that message is for you. Okay, so I pulled a card from Oracle of the Fairies, and I got healing. So now is the time for you to give or receive healing, because everyone has a natural ability to heal others. Yes, even you. And so again, go to my reading this morning and you'll know exactly where I'm going with this. So the Fairy of Healing has flown into your reading today to let you know she can help you to heal yourself or another. Okay. And instead of saying, or, I want to say, and another and another and another. Okay. Because by your healing and sharing your experiences and your stories, you will be helping so many other people. Okay. Healing can take many forms. So even if it's just through listening, when we feel we're being heard, it can make us feel better. So people who have the ability to listen with love and without judgment are already healers. Sometimes just being in the presence of someone who is receptive to our thoughts and feelings can help us to feel uplifted and healed. Hands-on healing is a technique many feel drawn to, and perhaps this is something that you too wish to explore. And if you feel like you're in need of healing yourself, it's important to listen to your body and to take time out so that it can heal naturally. Make sure you're getting all of the correct, vitamins and nutrients. Sleep can also be an amazing healer. This card could also be a reminder that you or someone close to you needs to visit a health professional. The Fairy of Healing can assist with your healing journey, whether you're using conventional or complementary healing methods. The Fairy of Healing is also asking you to explore healing therapies that may be new to you, such as aromatherapy, flower essences, or hands-on healing. I'm also thinking like Reiki and energy healing, okay? Even doing like chakra work or like QHHT, like Jen does, things like that, where you're really kind of bringing out some of those maybe even unexplored or old wounds, even maybe some past life things that you aren't aware are affecting you or, the people you're working with in their daily life. So all of this can aid others' healing and as well as your own. So just make sure that you are finding your balance and you're getting your rest. And I think, if you really look at where you've been and what you've been through, and you start sharing that story, I think you're going to find this path of healing is coming just really naturally to you. So hope that resonates for you. And I believe we're going to move on to Jen. Is that right?
Okay, for this one, I have pulled for Karen. And so, again, with the Tarot of the Divine, and we have the Three of Coins. And so, what I'm getting is that you are in a connection with someone that is a very powerful mirror, and it's like a high conflict mirror. And you've seen through their mask, and it's like it may have scared you at first, like with the conflict of not knowing how to deal with it, but you see through their mask now, and so it doesn't scare you anymore. And this person is like your strongest teacher ever. So once you learn these lessons, then like you're done. But you see through their mask. They don't have an effect on you anymore as what they did before when the conflict was so high. You see through it now. You see it, but it is a high level. This person was meant to be in your life. I mean, so this is a high level soulmate, but they were meant to be your strongest teacher, and they're doing it with high conflict. Okay, Dawn.
Hello, I drew for Angela, and I love this for you. Endless possibilities. And one of the messages that I got with this is a lot of times when we ask for stuff, ask for things and set intentions, we're doing it with the energy of what we've known in the past. And sometimes that is so limiting for us because we do not know the possibilities that the universe can bring in for us. So it's always this or something better. And I feel like that may be what's happening is that you are not asking, number one, you're not asking for enough. And you have to put your focus to that or something better. Good and better and even greatest, right? Without limiting what is coming in for you. I feel that you get that as you know how to set intention, but if you're basing it on what you've known in the past, then again, I feel that's the limit. And we are going into such a time that there's such a new earth energy that anything is possible. You can manifest, and the manifestation that is going on right now is so possible and so the ability to do it is so much stronger now, that when you, I think the same message came through with Venus, just in a different way, that if you are focused on the things that you love and enjoy and want to go further into that, then I want to go on my journey in the best possible way, and however that can expand for me. Because there are gifts that are going to be, I think, coming to people that we haven't even imagined yet. So I think we need to be aware that we are in a time where we're not asking for enough. There is so much more that's available to us that we will be able to understand as we're moving through this time. And it's going to be happening on a much faster level. We have Uranus in Gemini, we have Pluto in Aquarius trining, and they're going to be trining each other, and it will be exact multiple times that we're going to be getting this energy. So I would say that moving forward is important for you, Angela, that there's where your focus is, and higher and even higher than that. So that's what I would say, because I feel like you do have a lot of energy that is just so far beyond what other people realize. And I think that there's things that are coming towards you that you need to expand more. You need to expand more. And that will come, just keep that open mind space and the open heart space. And I think that'll come naturally, but don't base things on what happened in the past, because we're so much more than that. So with that, I will go back to Sari, who I think is going to close this out for us.
All right. So I wanted just to say thank you to everyone who's joined us. Again, to Ron, a special shout out for being our guest presenter on Wednesday, on Wildcard Wednesdays. Please check that out. But again, just a couple things next week. We will not have the Thursday Live on the 7th. It will be a Lionsgate ceremony on Friday the 8th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll have our recording for the full moon ceremony in Aquarius on the 9th. And so, and Luna is in the house, and she wants her dinner. So we're going to bid adieu. And again, some beautiful messages. So everyone have a blessed weekend. We are so grateful for you and honored that you would spend time with us. It is our honor and privilege to pull cards and to read energy and just to have a great conversation. So we're building this beautiful community, and we couldn't do it without you. So our hearts are full. Have a great weekend, everyone. Take care.